I know we're already on an internet platform, but it is about to get way more internety around here because I'm about to reference what they say on conspiracy theory websites all the time. Are you ready to take the red pill?
Oh, really? Okay, what is it?
Here it is. Jennifer Hawkins sucks. Because she's a property investor, taking advantage of John Howard's tax reforms that have rigged the property game, the board game no one's ever heard of, against the Australian people so much and so easily that even someone with the intellect of Donald Trump, well, I like the jib of his hat, can make a killing out of ripping off the poor if you have some capital to begin with. And you're gonna find out how. Stay tuned. We only have the statistics for Melbourne, but this is definitely happening all over, as it's known to Americans, Austria. As Melbourne has a pretty standard property vacancy rate for the rest of Australia, a little under 5%, theirs is 3%. But is it really?
Ooh, I can't tell by the tonality of that question whether it is or isn't. Can't wait to find out.
No, it's higher than 3%. Here's where the red pill becomes red hot. The real Melbourne vacancy rate is definitely higher than 4.8%. And I can almost guarantee you that the investment property vacancy rate sits at 18.9%. That's 82,724 homes that all must be
Secret eco mansions. Welcome, I'm your butler today, sir. A chimp that drinks sand.
as all these investment properties are using less than 50 litres of water a day. Come on. Do you know how many litres a leaking tap uses?
Yes, as a matter of fact I do. I spent an entire Saturday counting it once. It is 55 litres.
Okay, thanks for doing that, but seriously, get a life. So if all these investment properties are using less water than a leaking tap, either they're all illegal test labs for wicked witches of the West wondering,
Still not immune. But why?
or they're as vacant as Jennifer Hawkins' eyes.
Now I've got a nice hat. Yay! Everyone's got a good hat.
Property moguls, world leader material. And the reason that literally tens of thousands of houses are vacant is because this stuttering bowling ball essentially cut in half how much tax you have to pay when you sell your house. Not for the benefit of you.
I hate poor people. They eat too many potatoes.
But essentially because he was lobbied by his huge-scale property investors to turn a basic human need, shelter, into one of those commodities like diamonds in South Africa by creating artificial scarcity. They buy up all the houses in a region. That makes it look like there is no houses, which makes it look like they're rare, so the value artificially increases. And then they sell those houses just like diamonds at an artificially inflated price, meaning that housing in Australia by and large is not worth what we're paying for them. In some cases, it's been artificially inflated by 30%. In fact, in the December quarter of 2013, property prices in Australia rose $184 billion in 3 months. That doesn't happen naturally. That happens when the rich get a
Monopoly, the game everyone's heard of but no one wants to play.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
Oh my god.
I've got to start investing in property. Fuck poor people. But you can't. In fact, for the first time in our history, over 51% of our generation will not be able to afford a house. So how many of them do you think will be able to start with nothing and buy up hundreds and hundreds of apartment blocks in the same area?
Me, bruz. I'll figure it out the way.
Gen Y. It's like a Chinese symbol that has two meanings, confidence and delusion. So how can we fix this? Oh wait, I know, because someone way smarter than me explained it to me.
With a universal land tax.
Most economists in the world, left or right, agree that a universal land tax is the fairest, most efficient tax there is, because
Ready for another red pill?
if everyone has to pay a certain percentage of their land value, say 2% a year, someone like Malcolm Turnbull would have to pay way more in tax on his mansion in Potts Point than someone like Tony Abbott, whose Gumtree.com fridge is now parked near the tent embassy.
That's why I think it's time it should be demolished they've got the good spot.
And if it was set at just 2% of your property value, that would generate $92 billion worth of revenue. That's almost 3 times as much as the suggested GST hike. So just from that, no more deficit. You could also decrease the amount of personal income tax so it's completely offset, because the rich would actually be paying their fair share in this instance. There is very little loopholes out of a land tax. Even Alan Jones thinks a universal land tax is an extremely good idea.
And he was right about climate change being a hoax, so benefit of the doubt.
But look, obviously I can't go into a lot of detail in what is a very, very complicated economic thought, so sorry to all the people that keep commenting.
You simplify things way too much.
Well, what did you expect from a guy who's eating a raw fucking squid?
So read the report at www.prosper.org.au. I guarantee you it will keep you up at night for days. However, seeing as none of you will, they also have a documentary that's available, Real Estate for Ransom.
Oh, sicko movie, okay.
How the rich are ripping you off hundreds of thousands of dollars is a difficult to understand and extremely necessary subject for you to know.
You know, I haven't watched Jingle All the Way today, and 'tis the season.
Seriously, please watch the documentary. It is terrifying.
That's right, the Friendly Geordie's YouTube channel has completely changed direction. It's now a film critic channel. Stay tuned for next week's critique, Planes 2. I'm tentative to say this because I've made a lot of great films over the years, but Planes 2 has definitely got to be Pixar's greatest achievement to date.
Please press the subscribe button now.
Come on.